Alright, I'm Katie Womack. I'm from Craighead County. I work in Craighead, Greene, and Poinsett County. I have my master's and my bachelor's, and I have worked on the farm. My dad's a farmer. I have rolled tons of rolls of poly pipe. I've put in rice fields. I've been out there doing all the farm work that there is to do. So first of all, this is the one thing that within RCS that we really need to be working on is saving the alluvial aquifer. This right here, you've got Craighead, Greene, and Poinsett, and we're in the red, a little bit of red in Poinsett, Craighead, and Greene. And agriculture accounts for 98% of the total water that is pumped from the alluvial aquifer. I mean, that's huge. So I've worked with a bunch of growers, and I've picked a few that have some different scenarios. And I have Terry and Clay. They're located on the west side of Greene County, and there are times in the season that they, sometimes have ran out of water. So they have to be very cautious of what they use, not to waste the water, and they're very eager. We worked together and got out there. They had never used pipe blender before. They really, honestly, I don't think they were really for it at first. They didn't really, until they went to a bunch of field days and figured out, hey, there's some other farmers that are trying this. I'm going to try this. So they done it on a field and they liked it. And so we worked together and done pretty much their whole farm this last irrigation season. We worked together. They have elevations and where all of their pipes are laid. And so they made some buildups, which is down there on that last picture. And they were able to eliminate the ropes, the buildups, the jacks, from 10 to 12 jacks to 3, which is huge. That's saving a lot of time that they can be doing other things on the farm and not be constantly working on trying to get one field ready to water. On this field, it shows that I use LIDAR. All of our irrigation specialists can get to LIDAR and we can get the elevation. And it just shows right here where the triangles is going to be, it's not. Okay, so this shows the blue dot is going to be where their well is, and going on, they've got an elevation build up right here. They've got a build up, they have a build up here, and then you've got the elevation of 8 feet of fall in it. So this helped them tremendously, and also I have a picture that shows they had a very good crop that year.
Katie, I have a question, just because I know that field, and just a question. Kind of for Clay, really. Did you used to do that in 2 sets and you were able to switch it to 1 set?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought.
Yes.
We had, how many jacks, how many build-ups was it? It was more than 10 probably.
Yeah, there was probably 10 to 12.
10 jacks and 2 setups and all that, and you switched to 3 jacks and 1 setup.
Most of the fall was about the first half of that field.
Right.
And it goes down.
Well, and also right here is where we put the elevation in. That's pretty important part of pipe blender. This is going to be your open set summary. After you get through putting all your information in, this is what it's going to give you. The blue arrows are where we picked up, a 2.5 foot buildup for each of those, and this one's going to be your last one for your open end. And also over here is another type of buildup. That's the first one that y'all tried, right? Because they did not believe that it would work. So they weren't going to spend any money, and they were going to try to see if the dirt would actually work. So, and it did.
You're not going to tell them what I said when it worked?
No, you can tell them.
I told her it's voodoo. I said, the battle hole on that hillside, that's voodoo. It did.
Yeah. So this one is going to be a more complicated field. It's got 3 sets. We're looking at, on the west side, you're going to have a silt loam clay, and then on the other side, you're going to have a sandy loam. He had 2 sets here. He had a surge here and then here. And then he had never been able to water this field right here. So we were able to put in the flows for this one and put pipe down this whole lane and get holes so that he could water this little area right here. This also saved him a lot of time. He has some elevation right here, so he was able to go around a little bit, and we were able to water this side as well with some small hose. So he's never been able to water that whole entire field until he got through pipe planter and seen that it would work. We could make it work. This is also the same farmer, which he's right there. Mr. Joey has everything, all of his farm on pipe planter. This goes, you can keep it every year. We go back to it. We're able to go back, and if you want to change the rows, you can change, your row size. You can change if you would rather do alternating furrows. We're able to keep that, which is really good. We don't have to do it every year. Then I have Shane Easton. Shane Easton had never used pipe planter before. We were using pipe planter to implement a practice. So he didn't believe in me. And so we get out there, flow his wells, and he had a row rice field. So we put up this open end, and you can see the pallet with the chemical barrel. And we used small holes on 35 acres to water that field. It worked like a charm, and he had really good yield on his row rice. And I think this was his first row rice field to try, wasn't it, Shane?
That's correct.
And did you yield good?
Yeah, it yielded 220.
Yeah. So he was really satisfied with that, and we're planning on doing mostly his whole farm for 2020 irrigation. Then I have Jeremy Ritchie. He's another Greene County farmer. He is on our board at Greene County. So he knew about pipe planter. He never would implement it though. He really didn't believe in it. He's farmed for 30 years. I don't really believe in it. I'm used to doing the same thing. I'm not gonna waste my time. Well, he waited until, it was end of June, 1st of July on some wheat beans, and we went out there and flowed just a little block of wells, a well with some risers on it, and I done plans for that whole block. Still, didn't believe in me. He didn't think it was gonna work. So he was doing, this is a really complicated field. It's got some curves in it and had some elevation. So he had an elevation drop of 4 foot. Every few rows, he was going out there and putting something for a little bit of a buildup. He would change it every year because it never would water correctly. So one day I get a phone call. We went from a bunch of buildups, and now he only has this one. And then, of course, the one on the end for your open pipe. And he called me one day and pretty much told me we were best friends because he never believed that this would work, ever. So, needless to say, we're waiting for it to warm up so we can flow a bunch more wells so that we can finish his farm out and, get a folder so he knows what to do every irrigating season. And then my last one's Craighead County. This guy, he had never had underground pipe, so he was really, really worried that he was going to blow the pipe. He didn't know what the flow was, and he also was having to implement computerized hose selection. So I went out there and we flowed it, and he was surprised at what the flow was, and he still didn't believe that this would, with the point rows, that they would ever water out at the same time. He didn't believe me. But we tried it, and worked like a charm. He loved it, and we're going to work on doing some more this year, and some Miri for him for his rice ground. So he's mostly rice and corn. And then we have multiple inlet rice irrigation. On this is, obviously it's for rice. So I have here P&P Consultants, which he's back there. He was able to fly his drone over this, which is super awesome for any rice farmer that has paddies, and you can go in and what amount of acres is going to be for each paddy. You can keep this forever. And we were able to go on to pipe planter and draw out your field and put in each thing that had the amount of acres for each paddy. And then his pipe was laid around this, and it didn't get to those bottom paddies. And then here's the farmer with his rice. And then this is the end result. So it tells you on your blue gates what positions. This is also on Pipe Planner. You can go back to find this picture. But it shows you here, you've got one in one full open, and then you've got one in position 3. And that's in paddy 1. And it tells you exactly what you need to do for each field, or each paddy, so that you can water through. And then this is going to be your blue paddies. Actually, that's in that field. We have irrigation specialists all through this color in Arkansas. The one that was the one that's vacant has been filled. So if you're in Arkansas, call us up. We will be more than welcome to help you. We will come flow the wells. I have actually in this last picture, we had a big boo-boo on this field, big boo-boo. Put some different poly pipe out. It really didn't work real great, so we ended up in flood was rolling Delta Plastics pipe out and redoing the entire design. It was a booger, but we did it. We survived. And but what I'm trying to say is, us irrigation specialists, we're here to help. We will help you. Get your elevations. Let's make sure that you are getting the right times of getting that water on and off. And
Take it back up to that slide there. That on this field right here, it's a hillside, and it's about a 6-foot fall, and it's got 23 or 24 paddies in it. There's 16 levees in the middle, and I had Richard with our consultant measure with the drone, and there's 16 levees that actually call for only three quarters of a blue gate. And I thought, I've been using this stuff all along, but you know how you are, you doubt stuff. So I just left them all open. Before the first flood, though, I had to go put them all down about 3/4, and it watered perfectly the rest of the year. I thought, well, it's 3/4 to a full. No, it's designed correctly.
My motto is, if you've not tried Pipe Planner, I have grown up in it. Like I said, I've rolled tons of poly pipe. I have been the one that has been poking the hose and running as fast as you can to get down to the end so that pipe don't blow, because Dad don't want to roll another roll of poly pipe, and it's going to be all on me that this pipe blew. So, I'm telling you, just try it with one field. Just try it. And I promise you, in the next year, you're going to be wanting to implement it all through your farm. Have any questions?
I had one about mirroring. So you said that there was a place in Pipe Planner to tell it the height of the levees.
Yes, sir.
If you're doing mirroring.
Yes, sir.
I don't remember seeing that. Can you tell me where that's at?
Yeah, so it's on, well, I don't know if I can get online here or not. I could definitely show
While you're
you.
looking for that, I want to say too, Katie and Mike are all over the place. If you need any help with irrigation, they're always there.
Mike Hamilton is statewide.
They have both been all over my farm.
And there's, Delta Plastics offers webinars also, and there's dealer meetings where we sell our tubing at, and we have different educational pieces that'll kind of be tailored to those meetings a lot of times. So I do these walk-in meetings also, where I'll just stop in, unannounced at different dealers or even coffee shops or universities, and just be there for a half a day just to answer questions about, hey, Chris, I'm having a hard time drawing pipe within Pipe Blender. There's issues with this. I've noticed the bug with it. Can you help me out with this? So, yeah, so there's a lot of different resources that you can go to get help. But the main goal, though, is for you to learn on your own. It's a system that's built for you guys, and we continue to improve it every year, and we're continuing to improve it right now where it becomes even more user-friendly. Maybe one day you wouldn't even have to draw the pipe. You just upload an AV line. Or maybe one day you can upload shape files from your tractor. We recognize all that stuff, and we prioritize all that stuff in a big spreadsheet. It just takes money for development to make this tool more and more user-friendly so we can get it out, so it's free to anybody that uses pipe.
You know, one of the other
Get
things,
online.
I don't want to
That's
forget
okay. I
this.
get
Well,
it.
And I
I
can show
can
you
tell
at
you-
our, go ahead, Mike.
I can tell you real quick, Joey, you know, on the screen where you pick what crop it is, and your furrow is already selected.
Yeah.
You change it to flood,
Uh-huh.
and your next screen, it lets you draw the levees.
Okay.
And that's where you pick
I've
the
never
height.
used it for that. I've always used University of Arkansas with, or app for that, but it's,
Mike's right. It'll say furrow or levee. If you choose levee, it kind of goes into a different set of code where it doesn't recognize furrow spacing anymore. And it asks you what's your fall per levee and then what's your height per levee.
Now, if you do that, when you get to the final screen,
Yeah.
don't put any more elevation data in it, because you already have it.
Got it.
true.
You just put 0 in it, top where it says elevation, because you've already put that information.
Gotcha.
So again, if you're looking for the technical questions like that, that's what these webinars are for. If you have a personal question you want to ask about a particular field, that's what myself, Daniel, and Mike, and Katie, and different positions are out there ready for you to answer those particular questions. But like Katie said, just take a dive off and do one field. You'll do 1,000 acres the next year.
Yes.
Don't concentrate on 1,000 acres. On 1,000 acres in May, right after you plant. You're never going to do it.
No.
Right? But you can do it on the fly. We're telling you to prepare, but if you have a field that you need to run quickly, it's a web-based application. You can do it from the console of your truck.
Yep.
If you got a flat pad and you know your flow rate, run it real quick and have your guys punch the holes. And then it's the difference between a 5/8 and a 9/16. You may put that $10 an acre back in your pocket.
And once you done it, you'll do it back in the mud, because you know how, you don't want to water that field all year.
You know, one of the eye openers to me was my dad's horrible at I'll just do this hole. We'll just do this hole. I usually do that. I done that last year. Well, one inch holes, it takes 4 half-inch holes to fill up that 1 inch hole. That's huge, huge. And there is a chart on Delta Plastics that shows that.
Yeah, hey Joey, right there. See where it says levee height? Right there?
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
But on the one before it, you have to pick flood.
Yep. Yeah, so right here, you gotta choose levee or furrow. And when you choose levee, you go into this, and then it says what to enter, and then you go save and continue, and it goes through kind of a checklist page, right? Where it says your water source, and where Mike's saying don't enter your elevation in, it's right here.
Right.
Don't enter any elevation at that stage because you already did it. And then the design for that field, if you click view design, there you go.
You gotta make sure enable gates is selected.
That's right. So for this particular example, we have a left and a right position, so it's telling you, it's telling you where to put the gates, on the left-hand side of the pipe and the right-hand side of the pipe. I think we always say put at least one gate per pad in there. And then you may be able to use holes, you may be able to kind of do what you want to there, but always at least one if you have a situation where you have a whole bunch of gates. So you can manage that flood a little bit better. But it should be, once you get it up and flooded per each paddy, it should be kind of a leave and let be. And if you get a rain on top of that, the beautiful thing about multiple inlet is, you pump it, you can shut it down. But if you don't get the rain, you can pump it up that much more faster than you would in a contoured situation. So you're not afraid of getting that flood back out on the field if you were to shut your well off. You can run pipe to the middle of the field, you can run it to the side of the field.
I think that's one of those good things, they went down with your rainfall.
Yep. And if you don't get rainfall, you can flood up the field really, really fast. Right.
Because if you get a case of rain, you're not cutting hay.
We're through about 5 minutes early, but we still want to take some questions if you guys got it. Yeah.
Well, mine's more the future.
Yeah,
software development.
sure.
You think y'all ever be able to upload, say, a drone image to where we can trace the levee in the program?
Yeah, I definitely think so. Okay. So we got some funding right now that's going into play. We're going to be testing a lot of those priorities, one of which is going to be a shape file upload, wherever it comes from. And that's a real big deal if we can cut out certain tedious parts of the pipe planner. The number one most tedious thing is drawing of the pipe. Why do you have to connect it to the water source? Why do you have to connect it to the edge of the field? Why do you have to stay inside of the field and come back outside of the field? The errors that do occur don't make sense to me and has nothing to do with drawing in the pipe, but usually it is drawing in the pipe. Why would I have to redo a design if it's because the pipe, there's an issue there? So, you know, we haggle around with some things and think about, hey, could we just eliminate the need of drawing the pipe in square situations where we know we've already got a furrow direction? If the furrow goes this way, the pipe's got to run across the top of the field, so why would I even need to draw the pipe in the first place? The edge of the field should tell us the first and the last furrow. So those are things that I go to our board and I demand, you know, hey, let's eliminate this, or let's improve this to make it more and more user-friendly. Go ahead.
Just the reason why I was bringing up the imagery versus upload shape files is I think, Mr. Joey, you pull yours in the Farmworks, is that what you pull your shape files or any of your land level?
Oh, no, that's top gun. That's the whole.
Or, so for instance, to pull those shape files, you usually have to have whatever company you're using, their proprietary software to pull those shape files off.
Right.
So for instance, if you're using Deere and you build your levees, you need terracotta or you can't do the levees off.
You got it.
So in lieu of that, that's why I use the drone to kind of do what I do.
Sure.
The farmer doesn't have that software, the drone can map it, but they can upload that image, right, to where I don't have to sit at a computer design and they can design it themselves. Then I could just give them the imagery and they upload it to their pipe hunter account.
Got it. Well, the thing from a pipe hunter development standpoint is we don't know what's being used, if it's a drone or if it's a tractor, or if it's LiDAR or whatever it is, but we just want to make it as user-friendly so we can accept everything that's out there for whoever's using what. If it's a shapefile upload that has the biggest weight to it, it's the highest priority, we want to be able to upload a shapefile. And not only do we want to be able to upload a shapefile, we want to dump a whole bunch of shapefiles all at one time, right? Because we just need to aerate at that particular time. Because one of the most tedious things about Pipe Planer is just having to draw things over and over, because you guys have already got that in other systems. So why, you know, replicate that over and over again? But it's a great tool, and it's free. It's free for anybody that wants to use it right now, and it's a heck of a lot more user-friendly than the Faucet program was. And I really feel like we've been gaining leaps and bounds in adoption on it. So.
Before I say this, I want to roll things off what I was going to say.
Okay.
Have you thought about pre-punched holes in the pipe?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, never mind.
You know, what assistance has it? You know, it's for a consulting company. You go around pressing designs and for having.
That made it even easier. I might let the rest of them lay the pipe if we had holes.
So, I don't know if you would, you know, having pre-punched pipe coming right out of Delta Plastics would probably get us in a lot of trouble. You know what I'm saying? You guys would lay it completely differently.
They lay it backwards in the big hole.
Because I told you it was going down a ridge with holes on both sides of the pipe.
You won't believe this, but I don't know how many people in there used to lay 30-foot gated aluminum pipe.
Yes, sir.
We're glad y'all come along.
Yeah. Well, the advent of polypipe has been amazing, right?
Well, the first years we used it, we rolled it up, labeled it, and rolled it back out.
Match the holes with the
Yeah,
curves.
matched up. I've got them in the shed. I've probably got 10 rolls with the name still on them. How many years ago? 15, 20, 15 years ago?
Awesome.
Yep.
Ben, you got any questions? Good to go? Good.
So thank you.
Yeah. Hey, hit Katie up if you live in that area. Daniel Walton's right here, Mike Hamilton's right back here in the back. You know, we're all seasoned pipe planer users and ready to help anybody out. Spread the word. So thank you.